Megan, I just can't with you, child. I mean, even your daddy's telling you, when somebody shows you who they are, believe them. And I get you want to, trust Michael and everything, but after what I saw this episode, you gonna be in for a rude awakening. Hey you guys, what's up? Your girl Gigi is back. We're here to talk about love/life after lockup. Y'all, this episode was crazy. I mean, they got this Megan. Ooh, you gonna be that naive? Even your daddy's just kind of looking at you like, damn, I didn't raise a daughter this dumb. But we're gonna get into all of that. But before we do, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It's right down there, bloop. Hit that button. You know how this thing goes. And so let's get into this episode, okay? So I'm kind of gonna go by each couple, that way it's easier. And y'all, honestly, I don't know if this is season 1, like a continuation of it, and it's episode 41, 42, or if this is season 2, episode 2. So hopefully I'll figure it out by the time I edit and post this. But nonetheless, let's start with Angela and Tony. So she invites her sister over because she gotta talk to her. Angela invites her sister over, Donna Faye. That's a country ass name, Donna Faye. She invites her over to tell her all the shit that happened with Tony, as she found out he was doing all his cheatations at the hotel, motel, Holiday Inn, and running his little prostitution ring. Now, the sister comes over. She's like, girl, what's going on? She's like, man, Tony, I caught him cheating, and he was out there with them tricks and whores and everything. And Donna Faye is not shocked. She been telling Angela to let this fool go. He been no good. Like, she been telling Angela that. But Angela's just still stuck in love with this dude. And she's just like, I feel so disrespected after so much I've done for him. This is what he continues to do to me. And Donna's like, girl, like, you need to move on with your life. Like, he's no good. But she can't necessarily do that because she's engaged to him. But Donna Faye don't know that yet until she finally tells her. And she's like, girl, there's something I need to tell you. Tony asked me to marry him. And the sister's like, did you say yes? And Angela kind of made a face. She's like, girl, I already know you said yes. I don't even need to ask you. And she's just looking at her like, girl, to be so educated and so book smart, you are so motherfucking dumb that you take this man back like that. Like, she's just so, the sister's so disgusted with her own sister at this point. And she's like, look, at this point, if Tony comes back, don't you let him back in this house, because he's coming back. He's trying to wear you down. Do not let him back in that house or nowhere near you. But Donna Faye is not convinced her sister can do it. Like, she just knows she's going to take him back because she kind of explains it as her sister has a nurturing problem. She has that wounded bird syndrome thing. It's like she constantly has to help people. She needs to be there for Tony, like, to feel valuable in somebody's life. So Donna's just waiting on her sister to probably call her back, like, next week, talking about, damn, I found out Tony fucked up again type stuff. So speaking of Tony, he actually comes back later that night in the middle of Angela roasting, barbecuing his shit in the damn fire pit. And he's looking like, oh my God. And she's like, I told you, like, you didn't come over here by nightfall, your shit was going in the fire. So immediately Tony goes into like oh my God, like, Angela, I'm sorry, like, don't give up on this yet. Like, don't do this to me. Like, you still love me. While I was out, I really thought about it. And I can admit that I was thinking with the wrong head, aka he was thinking with his peen, his dick, instead of his noggin, okay? And she's like, I'm not doing it, Tony. Like, how can I trust you after you've been out there with those whores and, with those prostitutes, in that hotel room doing whatever, God knows what. And he's like, I can admit that I was wrong, I'll go get help. She's like, I done heard that before. Like, we'd all heard you gonna get help before, Tony. The last time you said you're gonna get help, you took the police on the damn, like, running spree. So no, we not gonna believe you this time. And then he turns in. He's a real good manipulator, because then he's like, Angela, don't you love me? Don't give up on me yet. And you can tell Angela almost broke. She almost broke. She walked over here, like, they got real close and they kind of got a little quiet. And she's like, yeah, Tony, I thought I did love you, Tony, while she's smoking on them damn cigarettes. Y'all, I swear Angela could be a spokesperson for Newport or Marlboro, because Marlboro, how do you say it? Marlboro? Yeah, because that bitch be chain smoking, okay? But she's like, yeah, Tony, I thought I used to, but I know if I let you in that house, I'm going to hate myself. I would never be able to forgive myself for that. And Tony's like, man, just please, can we go in and talk? Let me in the house. She's like, no, Tony, you ain't making it inside this house. He's like, girl, that's our house. Our house. Oh, really, Tony? It's our house? You make any payments on our house? That's what I want to know. And the only reason I can see Tony kept saying that because he knows if I can just get one foot in that door, I know I can wear Angela down. All I gotta do is get her on that couch, start rubbing her arm a little bit, and I know she gonna give in. But luckily Angela was strong enough at this point. She's like, no, Tony, I'm not gonna do it. So in the confessional, he's kind of like, I know Angela's got to take me back because, you know, this is his resident technically by law because that's the address that's on his parole papers. So he got to come back. So he's kind of like, well, Angela, like, where am I going to go? She's like, that ain't my problem. Like, tonight, like, I don't care where you go, but I do know you will not be walking your ass up in this house right now. So she's like, I'm going in my house and you need to take your ass somewhere else. Out there having the drug sweats and stuff. He out there looking dumb. Talking to the producer, talking about, I love Angela, but I don't think he realized this time he was going to have to do a lot more groveling than he usually has to do. So let's talk about Marcelino and Brittany. Brittany got to sit down with Marcelino, give him a chat about their finances because I guess we find out Marcelino's profession is professional poker. So he makes, I guess, enough money to support them, you know, each month. You know, they make it by. But for Brittany, it's like, look, we got 2.5 babies, like 2, 1 on the way. And granted, poker, you know, makes us just enough. Like, we need more money that's stable and guaranteed. Marcelino ain't really trying to hear it. He kind of got this air about himself, like y'all that already said, like, he got this, it's just like, he just feels like on his high horse all the time. And then got the nerve to be like, oh, you want me to get a job to pay for something Tito's doing? And she's like, well, you didn't have to fight him, did you? Because now they got this $30,000 lawyer bill that they got to afford because Tito's basically dragging out the custody process because they have full custody of their son, Gino. So now he's like, oh, I'm 40 years old. You want me to work for somebody half my age and tell me, you know, this snotty-nosed kid tell me what to do? No, Marcelino, she's not saying go flip burgers, but she's saying go get your ass a steady job because regardless, your profession is gambling. It's gambling, okay? You might lose your money that you put down on the table. So he's like, okay, well, you don't understand. You want me to give it my dream. You don't know how hard this is. She's like, what do you mean I don't understand how hard this is? Like, I am a felon. Like, I go somewhere, try to make my life better, and people automatically see my record and think I'm a shitty person. Like, I can feel Brittany on that. Like, there are so many people who just end up just wrapped up in the bad life, and they just didn't have the opportunity to get out. And so they get out of jail and try to make that decision to do better, and they can't because they got this record. And people think that people who come from jail can't improve upon their lives. So they end up stuck in this situation, which is why half of them end up going back to doing what they were doing before they went to jail. They just need that opportunity. So I can really feel for Brittany because you can tell she just wants to do better, especially for the kids that, you know, she gave away early in her teenage years, you know, for adoption. So Marcelino, he finally goes to a recruiter's office for a job, and he's walking in like, yeah, I know I'm gonna come out like easy peasy because, you know, I was in the service and I got, you know, bachelor degrees and shit. And he walks in telling the recruiter, like, you know, he's like, I want somewhere around $60,000 a year. Well, the recruiter's like, okay, like, well, you know, what history of working do you have? He's like, well, I got, you know, education, you know, I was in the service, so I know that much. And, you know, I got, cause he went something in the education field. And he's like, well, I got some type of degree in history, science, something like that. He's like, well, what kind of skills do you have? He's like, well, I'm a father, so, you know, I've learned time management skills, you know, very well. And so he's kind of looking at him like, yeah, well, how about software or like, you know, all type of people use like that damn Microsoft software and all that type of stuff now. And he don't know nothing about that, but he's kind of like, well, that's nothing. I can't use a tutorial to figure out real quick. And the dude's like, okay, like, what do you do now? He says, I play poker. And he's like, well, is that is that what you want to do? And he's like, yeah, but the thing is, you know, my wife is saying like how, you know, I can have a good month, a good week, but, you know, that's not always so. Like, I need something steady. So the dude keeps it real with him. Like, look, if your passion is poker and somebody's going to hire you, they're not going to hire you for a $60,000 job. especially when you really don't have a work history and you could bounce any minute because that's what you really want to do. Like, you're kind of unreliable. So Marcelino, like he said, as he was walking out, kind of got the mirror put up to his face, like, you really all hot shit that you thought you was. And even the recruiter kind of was talking to the producers, like, you know, Marcelino kind of has an inflated sense of self. Like, he like has this ego, and if somebody can pick up on that literally within 5 minutes of meeting you, like, Marcelino, you really need to like reevaluate like yourself, because you ain't really bringing that much. So he calls Brittany. He tells her the interview went good. I don't know how he got good out of that, but okay. He said he gonna tell her about it when he get home. So let's get on Megan, Michael, and Sarah. Man, I tell you, these two just give me a headache. So Michael walks in the house with his big forehead and his bushy ass rabbit ponytail and just looking shiny as all hell. You can tell he used that blue magic. Now, for any white viewers that we have, blue magic is something that, you know, that's kind of introduction into hair moisturization for a lot of black folks. That's what you use before you kind of advance into the coconut and argan oils that you put in your head when you get older, okay? But nonetheless, he's definitely, you know, blue magic down in that ponytail, and he wants to talk to the dad because the dad find out from Megan that he flew down to Texas, and he's ready to have a sit down with him, okay? So the dad lets him in, they sit down, and the dad gets right to it. He's like, look, Michael, you know, I know what you did to my daughter. I don't know if I can trust you. You know, I'm very protective of her. So let's get to the skinny. So, like, I'm confused. Do you have a wife or ex-wife? He's like, well, I got a wife. He's like, okay. So the divorce, I'm assuming that's happening. When is that supposed to be finalized? Of course, Michael asks, don't know, because he's really not concerned about the divorce being finalized, because he knows really he don't want to be divorced from Sarah. That's just what it is. And so the dad's like, how are you supposed to like be, you know, pursuing my daughter and then, you know, in the process of divorce with another woman? Like, how's that supposed to work? And then he's like, okay, kids, how many kids you got? Or AKA, he's talking about, oh, any side kids? The fact that you even had to ask if there were side kids, like, Megan, should be a wake-up call. He's like, no, I got 2 kids. He's like, okay, you just had, like, you know, how many you got? Like, what's their age? And he talking about there's one 4 months old. Now, the daddy look at Megan like, how long were y'all together again? And she's like, 3 years. And you could tell when she was saying it, like, she felt dumb saying it like 3 years, because you know this man just had a baby 4 months ago. So now he's like, obviously the dad's looking like, okay, 1 + 1 ain't equal to 2 here. So, Megan, do you love him? And she's like, yeah, Dad, I love him. You know, he's like, well, how do you know you can trust him? Like, what's done in the dark comes to light. And, you know, I always say, when somebody shows you who they are, believe them. Now, Megan's coming out, oh, Dad, I'm not the old girl anymore. Like, I've grown up. And if you ask me, like, I think Michael's really trying to do better, because why would he come down here to Texas, you know, for me just to still be lying? Girl, hood niggas do whatever to keep however many females on the line that they can. There's just, Michael is the definition of a fuckboy. Like, he just is. So then he's like, well, Michael, do you love my daughter? He's like, yeah, you know, I love Megan. She can be in my life forever, you know, no matter what the position is. Did you catch that, Megan? He said, no matter what the position is. First of all, why is there even a position, Michael? There should be no position she's fighting for or has to worry about. So that means, Megan, you gonna be old reliable. You gonna be old faithful. If he wants you, he gonna have you. If he don't want you, he's gonna step on to the next chick and know that your ass is gonna be there when he gets done fighting with her, or she's mad at him and kicks him out the house. You're gonna be his fallback. Like, Megan, you are literally going to be Sarah in 3 years if you don't stop fucking around and get some sense. Like I just can't. And even the dad's just kind of looking at his daughter like, where did I go wrong? Because, like, Megan, you have a very involved dad, so I'm confused. Like, how do you, like, the dad looks like, seems like the good, perfect, you know, example of what a woman wants in their life. Like, he looks like he raised her to look for a reliable man, but Megan just wants to be naive and feel like Michael is going to be her Superman and all this type of shit. But the dad let Michael know real quick, okay, I don't think you should be with my daughter. I don't trust you. You know, Megan, you need somebody without kids. She's like, well, that's why, you know, I really actually love Michael because I like the way he loves his kids. Okay, you know he loves his kids, but how many times has he called his kids in front of you, Megan? If he's on the way to come see you, he's not spending time with his kids, Megan. So, it's just like, she's just dumb, y'all, dumb. Like, and then the dad kind of basically, like, he looked at Michael like, look, I got friends in high places. I know some people in the criminal justice system. So, fuck with my daughter again if you want to. See what's gonna happen. I dare you to try it. See what's gonna happen. And Michael kind of was just stuck there looking, because I don't think he was expecting, you know, the dad to say that. So, speaking of the kids and Michael's situation, let's hop to Sarah, because Sarah invites the friend over because she got some new info. Now, Sarah, because she's technically still married to Michael, can get his bank records, his phone records, all that type of stuff. So, come to find out, Michael got a whole little system of women that been basically affording his lifestyle. In 1 month, Michael made $1,200 off of all these different women. And Sarah is pissed because she's like, first of all, I done bought you this phone just for the sole reason so you can be in contact with your kids. But since you ain't calling your kids or trying to call in and check in on them, like, we got issues. And now her friend who already don't like Michael's even more pissed off because she's hearing all this stuff. And she's like, the nerve of Michael. And then she's like, oh, you made $1,200. I ain't seen not a penny of it. Michael, you ain't even paying for your kids, no nothing. And Sarah don't be asking. So, like, bro, you an asshole. You one of those hood dudes who think because you give a girl a piece of you or you show them partial love, like, that's, like, makes you a good guy, but you not. And she's just like, I'm really lost on this Michael situation. Sarah's like, I used to see potentially him. I don't know who this man is. You know, who did I fall in love with? And so now at this point, she's like, look, I didn't try to give him a chance, but the phone, cutting it off. Then she goes and talk about she was paying for car and health insurance for this nigga. What? As a friend too, you would pay for car insurance for him too, and he's still acting like this? Oh, hell no. So then she's like, all of it done. Like, I gotta play this, like, Michael's game, basically. I gotta move in silence, manipulate the manipulator, which is the name of the episode. And she's like, I done got real good at it too. Shoot, I done learned from somebody from 7 years how to do it. And she knows as soon as she cut all that shit off, stop paying for the car insurance, stop paying for the phone, Michael gonna come running back to her to start playing games, saying he gonna be there for the kids, all that type of stuff. She know how this goes. But yeah, got a whole bunch of Marias and Jessicas and got Megan on the list. Like, bro, Michael, you really ain't shit, dog. So then let's get into Lacey and Shane. So Lacey and Shane, like, y'all, this situation, Lacey, you really fucked up. So they in the new house, you know, walking through, got the shower, they dry humping in the shower and stuff. She got 3 closets, left him with a drawer. But the dad comes with the kids, and, you know, Shane takes him to the backyard to, you know, walk around the house while she's talking to the dad. Now, she tells the dad she's still in contact with John because, you know, she's just still worried for him as a friend. And, you know, I just want him I don't want him taking the wrong path. And it's like, girl, he's no longer your concern. You married a whole new man. You should not be worried about him. And regardless if you're in that man's life or not, if he wants to stick a needle in his arm or snort a little something, he's going to do it. Like, that just is what it is. Addicts are addicts. So the dad's like, look, you need to tell Shane, like, don't start your marriage off with lies. Like, and you can tell he really likes Shane and he wants the best for them. But Lacey is just going to fuck up. She's going to keep this a secret. But it backfires on her because Shane gets a little nosy and he already drunk and tipsy. He talking about, you know, Lacey been acting different. So he checked the phone and he see how she been talking to the friend about John and being worried about him and stuff. So he go outside, confronts her, and was like, why is this man in our life? John's not going to be in our life. He's yelling at her and stuff. And then she had the nerve to call him insecure. Now, bitch. Now, if this man were to do this to you, had another female on the line, talking about, oh, she just a friend, I'm concerned for her, you know, good goddamn well, you would not like that stuff. Talking about, oh, why are you acting so insecure? He's like, I'm not acting insecure, but like, girl, you my woman. I'm going to be protective of you. And then he go in the house throwing stuff. And she goes in talking about, oh, you're not going to talk to me like this. Like, we're done. He's like, we're done, girl. We married. And she's like, that can change easily. And so the fact that, like, she throws that out there just goes to show, Lacey, you really don't really want relationships like that. You want a man to take care of you, you know, dick you down on the regular. And and, you know, just be there for comfort. You don't really want a relationship. Like, you like having men giving you attention. And then when one pisses you off, you go off to the next one. And you like keeping John on the hook because you like the fact that he still wants you. Like, girl, I see right through you. So then she walks up the house and slams the door. So then last but not least, let's get on Andrea and Lamar. Y'all, oh, I tell you. So Lamar in LA, and he dealing with a lot. He ain't seen Andrea in 2 months. And his friend just recently got shot. So now that's another reason, like, just feed more into Andrea's insecurities and her anxiety about going to LA. And the friend even asked, you know, Lamar, like, okay, if she says she's gonna stay in Utah, like, are you willing to put up with that? And he's like, man, no, but you know, LA's where I want to be. Let's keep it real. Lamar ain't leaving LA. That's his life. He knows that thug life. He doesn't know no better, Andrea. And as much as you might want better for him and you don't want him to get shot, it's gonna happen. I guarantee Lamar is gonna end up either back in jail or getting a bullet wound, and that's unfortunate, but that's just the environment he lives in, and that's just all he knows. He doesn't really expect better for himself. And that's usually like a woman's thing. Like, we see the potential in a man, you know, and we want the best for them, and they tend to not always follow that route that we see for them. But he calls in Dre talking about, you know, he wants to come back to Utah, visit and stuff. And, you know, she wasn't really, she was kind of late answering the phone. So he like, oh, what you doing? She always hiding my Mormon boyfriend and stuff. He's like, oh, really? They were kind of joking around, but she's like, yeah, what you mean? You can't pop up in Utah. He's like, what you mean? Like, why you acting like I'm a stranger? I'm confused too, Andrea. Like, that's your man. Like how's he not coming back to the house? Like, he's been there before. But they start arguing then too about who really left the relationship, because he's like, well, you left LA, you left me. She's like, well, no, nigga, you got in the car and left. You packed your bags and flew off to LA, which you did. Like, Lamar, you left. Honestly, we gonna keep it funky. But he ends up wearing her down to coming back to Utah. So flash to, you know, Utah, the kids, they're writing posters and stuff for Lamar. Andrea talking about, hey, you know, son, can Lamar sleep in your room? He like, sleep in my room? Ma, y'all still married? She's like, partially. He's like, what does that mean? I'm like, yeah, Andrea, what does that mean? Like, y'all ain't even legally separated that much. Y'all just two fools who refuse to, like, have a conversation, and y'all really are on a break right now. Let's keep it real. So then, you know, they start to head to the airport and stuff, and they're waiting on Lamar to come out. And she's kind of like getting more and more anxious and mad, like, oh my God, he's gonna leave us. He finally comes down and he's hugging the kids and goes to hug Andrea. And she's like, no, I'm not gonna do it. He's like, man, really gonna do me dirty like that? She wanna sit there and play like she ain't happy to see Zaddy, like her little teddy bear, her little Southern Augusta looking pimp man. She's trying to act like she ain't excited to see him, but she really is. Even the kids were joking like, oh, she was ready to see you and stuff. And on the way out, they see some little missionary dudes, you know, getting ready to leave. And Lamar's like, well, damn. But he ends up shaking their hands, and she's trying to take it as a sign. Oh, my God, this is the sign. This is the sign. He's supposed to stay in Utah. Girl, Lamar is not staying in Utah. You got a better chance, you know, getting a glass of ice cold water in hell before that happens. So they're in the car on the way home, and you know, he's automatically just like in a bad mood because it's not LA. Like, it's dry out there. It ain't nothing but mountains. He talking about what does Utah got that LA don't. And immediately Andrea got her answer. She's like, better quality of life. It's safer. And the cost of living is cheaper out here. And Lamar ain't had no comeback for that. He's like, man, we just got to agree to disagree. And even the son was like, have you been shot? He's like, I ain't been shot. He's like, well, you been shot at? And he was like, no. And it's like, Lamar, like, these two, and then they still ain't even told the kids about Priscilla. She got to tell the kids that Priscilla is actually Lamar's. So we're going to have to see that too. But y'all tell me what you think about the episode. That was it. That's where it ends. I don't know about this damn Michael and Sarah situation. That's honestly the one I'm really, you know, ready to see what happens. Y'all tell me what you think. Who's your favorite couple? Who you just hope gets it together. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Deuces.